I hacked someone's Ring camera. I saw something horrifying. It was just supposed to be a stupid prank. You know how some people can hack into Ring cameras. My friend Johnny is a computer whiz, and he thought it would be the funniest shit to scare someone senseless by spying on them and talking out of the microphone. In retrospect, it was a terrible idea. Even at the time, it felt sort of gross. But we're 15 years old. Besides, Eddie was on board, and I didn't want to be the party pooper telling them we should not break the law and spy on people. That would be totally lame. Right. It took about an hour for Johnny to hack into the camera. The account was registered to a guy who lived over 1,000 miles away, in Texas. The three of us huddled around the computer as the live feed loaded. What if it's like people having sex? Score. Dude, no one would set up the camera in their bedroom. Who said they'd be in the bedroom? We were cut off by the video feed filling the screen. For 10 whole minutes, it was just an empty kitchen. Completely boring. It looked like a rich kitchen though, with all that stuff you see in Home Depot that my mom would drool over every time we went. We waited. Eddie opened a bag of chips and started eating. SSSSHHH, they'll hear you. Johnny hissed. A few more minutes went by. Finally, a shadow appeared on the wall. Then a woman walked into view. Much to our disappointment, she wasn't hot. She was older, about 60 or so, with blonde hair cut into a severe bob. Looked rich from her clothing and stuff. She was looking back into the hallway, talking to someone off screen. What's she saying? Eddie whispered. We listened, and finally, I could make out a few snippets of her words. Leave it here tonight. Deal with it tomorrow. In the freezer, Johnny leaned towards the computer, a wicked grin on his face. He opened his mouth to yell something into the microphone. But at that moment, someone else came on screen. It was a man. But he didn't look like he was her husband. He looked like he was half her age and a foot taller than her. A buff guy. The type of guy you wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley late at night. His pale blue eyes swept across the kitchen. Then he stepped in front of the fridge. The freezer, he asked, his low voice clearly audible. She nodded. He opened the left side of the fridge, presumably the freezer, and began pulling everything out of it. Not just the food, but the shelving and the drawers, like my mom does when she's doing a deep clean. Finally, he stood up, brushed off his pants, and walked back out of the kitchen. When he came back, he was dragging something behind him.